Monday mindful celebrations. The last this semester. We'll be back next semester. Don't worry. They were big size. It's like, no. If you really need a fix of the Monday mindful practices, we do have all of our Monday mindful practices on YouTube. Now, it's not going to be under the planetarium stars, but you're welcome just to go to YouTube, find a nice quiet space, and listen to Carissa on any day at any time you feel the need. But welcome to the planetarium for the last Monday of the fall 2023 semester. I'm going to pass it over to Jason while I get the door and get the lights as well.
So welcome everybody. Hi, Carissa. I know you probably can't see me. As Jenny was saying, yes, it is. All the recordings are on our Glendale College YouTube page. Just do a search on YouTube for Glendale College Wellness, and you should be able to find everything that we've ever had to record, from workouts to Zumba to yoga, all that stuff, including the Mindfulness Mondays. This will be our last meeting for the fall semester. So let me introduce to you Carissa Selman. She's a certified mindfulness facilitator, and she will lead you through this practice. So thank you very much for attending. I really appreciate it.
Great. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Jenny. Does Jenny have anything more to say about the stars above?
Just two things. What you will see up above is accurate for what is going to be above your head from sunset tonight until sunrise tomorrow morning, without the light pollution of LA. So in here, you will see many more stars than you will actually see in the real night sky. And in order for you to be more comfortable for viewing our dome above, I am going to recline the seats for you now.
Please make sure you turn off your phones as well, or silent them. So Carissa, it is all yours. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Jenny. Lovely. Yes, setting aside our phones. If you're watching this later and maybe you're at a desk, I recommend just pushing any piles of paper off to the side. Let's see. We had some folks raise their hands saying it was their first time here. So I do like to give a little definition of mindfulness. It is a practice of paying attention to your present moment experience with an attitude of curiosity, openness, and a willingness to simply be with things as they are. So that's one definition. And folks use many others, kind of variations on that, but that pretty well covers it. And what we'll be doing today is a very basic mindfulness practice. I will talk for a little while and provide some instruction and prompts. Please know that those are all suggestions. And if for some reason what I say doesn't work for you, you are welcome to just let it go, set it aside. The most important thing to know is that you are always in control of this experience. We're not trying to grip the mind and clamp down on it and control it in any particular way. Same thing for the body. We want to invite in stillness, but this is not anything about trying to be rigid or perfectly still. Just simply inviting in some relaxation and calm as a contrast for most of us moving around throughout our busy days. So that being said, I'll talk for a little bit and give some suggestions, and then I'll talk a little less, and then we'll be in silence together for a bit, and then I will break into the silence and walk us back out of the meditation. So usually I recommend people start with posture, with body and breath, taking a couple of deep, intentional breaths, just saying hello to the breath and the body. Maybe there's a sigh, maybe there's a yawn. But just taking a couple of slightly deeper than usual, if you can, breaths. Breathing into the entire range of breath and exploring what is that for us today. Maybe you have a cough or a cold, and or you're noticing some anxiety or tightness in your chest. Whatever is there, simply recognize it, notice it, and as much as possible, suspend any kind of judgment about it. I know that can be really hard sometimes. But if we can approach mindfulness practice in a playful and exploratory way, I think that usually serves us well. So after those deep intentional breaths, then noticing the room around you. And if your eyes are open, maybe you're looking up at the stars. If you're watching this later and you want to leave your eyes open, I recommend a soft downward gaze, about 45-degree angle, not looking at anything in particular. You're also welcome to close your eyes if that feels safe and comfortable. And with the senses of the external senses, noticing the temperature of the air. Maybe there's sounds from inside or outside of the room you're in. Allowing the body just to orient to where it is in space and time. You could then shift your attention more toward your interior experience, how it feels in the body right now. Noticing all the points at which you are being physically supported. Perhaps that's your feet on the floor, your legs against the chair, your seat on the cushion, your arms maybe resting on the armrests. You could also rest them in your lap or across your stomach, noticing the weight and warmth of your hands. Noticing the back of the body, a place we don't often check in with, but if we're resting against the back of a chair, that's a perfect time to see how the spine is, the shoulder blades. Maybe if you carry tightness or tension in the back, it's a good time to shrug the shoulders up and then roll them back down and back. Doing that a few times. If your head is against the chair or the back of the headrest on a chair, noticing how that feels, the weight. If you're sitting upright, just noticing the neck and how it supports the head. Sometimes it can be helpful if we're upright. Just tuck the chin in ever so slightly to take a little bit of pressure off of the neck. Many folks, many times I recommend people take off their glasses just to help relax all the little tiny muscles of the face. So if you'd like to do that now, Go right ahead. And checking in with the interior experience a little further. What quality of mind or heart, emotion, are you bringing to this practice today? Have you been busy? Have you been working hard this morning, trying to solve a problem or make a plan for something? Perhaps it's just neutral. There's nothing of particular note. Maybe there's a sense of pleasure and ease to have stopped some of the busyness, to know that for the next 21 minutes, you'll be here, inviting in that stillness and relaxation. And again, we do this with an observer's approach, creating a little bit of space between our experience and our perception of the experience. Once we've settled in to how things are in the moment, I invite you to turn the attention of your mind toward the breath. As part of mindfulness practice, we will often present to the mind an object for its attention to keep it here in the present moment, kind of like a boat uses an anchor to keep from drifting away. We offer the mind an anchor. You can also use hearing as an anchor. You could use touch, the sensation of your hands or your feet as an anchor. But I usually like to start with the breath. And for most people, it's easiest to locate the breath in one of three places, either the nose, the chest, or the belly. So without trying to change or control the breath, turn that observer attention toward your breathing and just get curious. Where is it easiest for you to notice the breath? Maybe it's the rise and fall of the belly. The side to side expansion of the rib cage, or towards the back of the body. Or perhaps it's the nose, cool air coming in through the nostrils, and a warmer air coming out over the upper lip. Wherever it is that's easiest for you to notice the breath, direct the mind toward that. Noticing the sensation of breath in the body, the pace, the rhythm of breathing, whether it is long or slow, deep or shallow, choppy or smooth. Each breath will be completely unique. And if after a few breaths or many, you notice that the mind has wandered, you're thinking about something that's going to happen later today, or remembering something from the past, simply notice that. Sometimes it helps to label it and just say thinking or planning, remembering, just to give it a little tap, like you're tapping a soap bubble. You're acknowledging the truth of the current moment experience, which is thinking. And then, with as much compassion and kindness as possible, simply invite the mind to return to the anchor of the breath. Return to resting with curiosity, following the sensations of the breath in the body. And this may happen many, many times during a single practice session, and that is perfectly okay. That is what the mind does. A large part of the practice is actually the noticing and the returning. This is not about completely emptying the mind, erasing everything, making a blank slate, just like it's not about gripping into complete perfect stillness. This is an invitation to rest. It's a welcoming back to the present moment when the mind wanders. It's cultivating this friendliness toward ourselves. And if it would help, you could offer the mind counting of the breath. Sometimes just a slightly stronger concentration is produced by that. So if it helps, you could inhale and then exhale and count 1. Inhale, exhale, count 2, and so on until you get to 10. And then start back over at 1. And if you find yourself at 18, 19, you just notice that with that same friendliness and compassion and say, oh, thinking, welcoming back to the present moment. Back out number 1. And as you take your next breath in and exhale, if you have been counting, I invite you to let that go. If you've been using the breath as an anchor, I invite you to let that go completely. And offer the mind the opportunity to check in again with itself. What is the quality of mind in this moment? The quality of heart and emotion. Checking in to see what's present now, which may or may not be different from what it was earlier. Noticing if anything has shifted in the body. Checking back in on those places where we often hold tension or tightness. Has it shifted any? Softened? Loosened up? Maybe just a tiny bit? I invite you to wiggle your fingers and toes and shift that attention toward the outer experience. The sounds, temperature of the air in the room, gradually reorienting to the exterior experience. And perhaps offering yourself a little bit of appreciation for making the time and effort to show up here, for trying something new, if this was completely new to you, for being here for yourself and acknowledging the truth of your current moment experience. It is a very kind and generous act. And so I hope you can take some of that kindness and generosity in for yourself. And may that also then extend to everyone you meet in the rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here for this practice. I'm so glad that I got to spend these last few weeks with all of you in some slightly strange, technologically modern sort of way. It really has been lovely to share this with you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Carissa. Appreciate it. And thank you all for attending. Once again, this is our last Mindfulness Monday of the semester. We will have next semester Mindfulness Monday, hopefully with the help of Carissa after we have a discussion. But thank you very much for attending. If you're a faculty member that needs flex credit, come and see me and you can sign the sign-in sheet. Also, if you're a student that needs credit for the Promise Plus, we have a QR code up here that you can scan as well. So,
including the instructor's name at the bottom, because I know that's required on the form for the Promise Plus. So I'll leave this here on the corner.
thank you very much, Carissa. Thank you very much.
Great. Take care. We'll chat later.
Absolutely.
All
Have a
righty.
great day.
Thanks. You too. Bye.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.